Today's guest is presented by Lexus. Experience amazing. Trevor Siemian will start for the Broncos in their preseason opener in Chicago tonight. Earlier in camp, Broncos coach Vance Joseph criticized the play of both his quarterbacks, Siemian and Paxton Lynch. There were reports yesterday that Denver was interested in a trade for Bengals backup A.J. McCarron. John Elway responded to that report by tweeting, "Rumors of us being interested in anyone other than the quarterbacks we have is an example of irresponsible fake news."
Okay.
Sad.
Wow.
Joined by Marshall and
How are you?
Good. The initial report about A.J. McCarron came from your radio station.
On my show. On my show in Denver.
You put that out? No, I didn't put it out. Man.
Well, you know.
Yeah,
You know.
sure.
What's going on with the Broncos quarterback situation right now?
The Broncos court. I mean, they're not happy. They can't be happy with what's going on there. I mean, you look at them right now. They've got a championship defense. You look at their offensive line, the depth that they've acquired, plus the fact that they went out and got a first-round draft choice in Garrett Bowles. And I ain't never seen a kid that can run like that plays offensive line. This kid's an athlete. He's got some nastiness to him. They think they've fixed those issues. Championship defense, we fixed our biggest glaring issue, our offensive line, and we have two quarterbacks right now that, let's face it, leave some to be desired. Now, as far as the report is concerned, I guarantee you that things happen behind closed doors in the NFL, and people are constantly talking to one another. And the fact that John Elway responded to it within about 30 seconds after it was said on my radio show, 104.3 The Fan, that made them uncomfortable. Right? So I'm not saying that he reached out to anybody and said, hey, can we talk about getting a quarterback in here? But the bottom line is those things happen behind closed doors all the time. Here's the deal. They drafted Paxton Lynch, who's got all kinds of talent. Unfortunately, talent oftentimes wasted on talented people, right? Because a lot of times talented quarterbacks, you know how they play? They play from the neck down. The default mechanism when things go awry is to use athleticism. And the untalented guys oftentimes play from the neck up. And that's where you have to play the quarterback position from the neck up. So you look at Trevor Siemian, he's far more advanced. Paxton Lynch is coming from a system, Conference USA, Memphis, where they had a card on the sideline. You know, it had a fire truck, a dog, and a chicken on it. You know, we're going to run fire truck, dog, chicken. That's what we're running right now. You never had a call of play. You played from the shotgun the entire time. And talking to the coaching staff, they're sitting there saying, hey, listen, Paxton, great athlete, unbelievable potential. But after that first read, he's lost. He doesn't know where to go with the football. And that's a big problem. Trevor doesn't have that problem, not as talented, understands the offense, but that's where they sit right now. And I think they're looking at themselves going, we have a chance to win this division. Honestly, if you took any other quarterback in that division, whether it was Alex Smith, whether it was Derek Carr, whether it was Phillip Rivers, and put it on the Denver Broncos, you'd be saying Super Bowl team.
They beat the Patriots. With Phillip Rivers, they beat the Patriots.
They're a Super Bowl team.
No question about it. But I just want to move a little closer to you because I eat free at Elway's because I want no part of this. You try to bust up my hustle dinner. You see, we got that flower on. You know where you got that from. See on the jacket, Skip?
Yeah.
You got that from me.
Well,
Stink has his Broncos colors on.
No, I'm saying the flower. You see the flower on his
what does the flower mean?
You know, that's just, style, swag.
Thing. Okay.
Yeah, you need to get Ernestine go get you one.
I think I'm not going to.
Skip, here's the thing. Let's be 100%. They're not happy with their quarterback situation because they want Paxton Lynch to start. They moved up to get Paxton Lynch. And the 7th round pick has beaten him out thus far. Now, you can hope that you get a Tom Brady. You got Tom Brady in the 6th round. But normally, 6th and 7th round draft picks are 6th and 7th round draft picks. Every now and then, you'll get a gem. I was 7th round draft pick. Dad shined me up.
Yeah.
Nice side diamond. Let's be as Mark said, they have a Super Bowl caliber defense. They got 2 skilled players in Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders that can go get you 100 catches and 1,000 yards and double-digit touchdowns. They've improved the offensive line. Now, if C.J. Anderson, I keep saying if asterisk, can stay healthy, if Jamal Charles asterisk can stay healthy, both of those guys stay nicked up.
Yes.
Now, CJ say he's in the best shape. And, egg is a shape. Pear are shapes. I don't know what kind of shape he's in, what he's talking about. But when I looked at him, maybe he just has one of those bodies that's not going to contour and be all athletic. But he run hard. But the problem is, Skip, he's off the field more than he's on the field. And you can't count him. Jamal Charles has had 2 knee surgeries. He got nicked up all last year. That's why he's in Denver. Can he stay healthy? The fault of the offense is the quarterback. We're not kidding. We're not fooling anybody. And here's the thing. And what we see from a lot of teams, not the Patriots, is that when they draft somebody in the first round, they got to prove that they made the right decision. Because there's a guy in Jacksonville that's still starting, and he's only starting because he was the 3rd pick in the draft. Terrible. And Paxton Lynch, they want him to start, but he can't beat out Trevor. Trevor doesn't have the biggest of arms. He's not as athletic. Paxton got a big arm. He's athletic. But when you play that position, most of the guys that end up in Canton, they didn't have the most ability.
You guys both have heard many times over your careers the old NFL bromide. It's not NFL. It goes back to college football. If you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none.
Yep.
They have 2 quarterbacks, and I think they have none.
Yes.
And I don't doubt that John Elway was somehow on the phone talking to the Bengals somehow, some way, and there was some discussion about A.J. McCarron who could be available. Would he be a little better than these 2? Probably he would. So would that be a small upgrade? Yeah, it would. Would it be worth whatever they have to pay? I don't know. But in this case, with these 2 quarterbacks, I'm here to tell both of you, for all the pluses you just gave me, the Denver Broncos are a candidate to finish in the cellar in this division. They're a candidate right now because the Raiders, as we know, are pretty good. The Chiefs are still pretty good, if not very good. And I got it. You mentioned Phillip Rivers. I really like that football team. If that team stays healthy, the new L.A. Chargers, they're going to be a force and a factor in this division. I think they're going to be very good. I think it's a loaded football team. Defensive line, you can make a case it's the best defensive line in football and maybe the best cornerback tandem in pro football. And if Phillip Rivers gets his weapons back and they stay healthy.
No, we got a better cornerback. Our secondary is top.
I don't know, but those 2 that they got are really good. But
we got 3 in Denver.
Yeah.
we got 3 in Denver. Me and the mouse in my pocket.
Yeah, you come back to the restaurant and eat again.
I got it. But look, Trevor Siemian surprised me a little bit. Like, he was pretty good. He was.
Here's the deal. If they can run the ball, think about Dak Prescott. What did he have? He had the number 2 rush offense in all of football. Go back to Russell Wilson's rookie year.
You can do
number
that.
3 rush offense in all of football. You can mitigate some of the mistakes of a young quarterback. Right now, Paxton Lynch is swimming. Because think about it. You don't only have to know, you walk up the line of scrimmage. You've got to know the play. You've got to be able to call the play. You've got to understand the routes, the route combinations, the protections. You've got to direct, or you've got to point out the mic. Then you may have to redirect the mic if you see a blitz coming from another side. And oh, by the way, when you draw back, you don't read your routes and your route combination. You know what you're supposed to read? You're supposed to read what the defensive coverage is, because that'll tell you where to throw the ball.
Exactly.
That's a lot to know for a young quarterback who lined up and looked at a card that had a chicken on it and said, "We're going to run the chicken."
But it's a bad sign that he hasn't yet threatened Trevor Siemian. He hasn't threatened to
when
beat
they
him out
put the
yet.
pads on, I'm at practice. I've been at practice every day. When they put the pads on in shorts and a t-shirt, his talent, there was no questioning it. When they put the pads on, it hasn't been close. It's been Trevor, and then it's several notches below. It's been Paxton.
So last year, Trevor threw 18 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. Not too bad.
Right.
But his QBR, again, my favorite stat, ranked 26. So he's not consistent enough for him to take your defense and your offensive line places. He's not. He's going to. His ceiling is low.
Don't be afraid, though, Skip. With that talent that they have, if you have to go out and get somebody to make this dessert complete, go do it.
All right.
Nobody. I don't fault anybody. You made a mistake. Paxton is not what we thought he is. Okay, so if you go get somebody and just like going out and getting Peyton Manning, you got Tebow, but you got Peyton Manning, you win the Super Bowl. So how can somebody be wrong for getting somebody that gets you to and win a Super Bowl? You can never be wrong in that. That's what I love most about Coach Belichick. Because, hey, I made a mistake. Get up out of here. I'll bring somebody else in here and fill your job. I wish more teams thought like that.
Tebow is still available. He's about to wind down his minor league season.
You see what I'm saying? See
right?
What I'm saying? He ruined it.
Well, he is.
I've been around him a long time.
Hey.
And I'm just going to let that go.
Do you remember that run he went on?
Winner.
Whew.
Joy.
All he did is win.
I want you to stop. You encourages this behavior. You encourage it.
Mark, thanks for joining us. Has Floyd figured out the key to beating Conor? We'll debate that next. Hasn't been back to the Super Bowl since winning in 2010. Rodgers' former teammate Brett Favre gave his opinion on the two-time MVP. Let's take a listen.
Obviously, Aaron has carried the team for a long time. I don't see why that's not going to change. But that in itself is not enough. At least it hasn't been, and it's been pretty good. So, as good as he is, I would have thought that they would have won more than one by now. But I don't know if he can do anything else other than what he's done up to this point. So, you know, it's always, it seems like one piece of the puzzle is missing.
Shannon, what's Favre saying here?
Skip, he tried to be very, very, very careful. Because in 2011, after Aaron won the Super Bowl, he says he's surprised it took him so long. And he also said it took him so long to win the Super Bowl, and he also, and I quote, he just kind of fell into a good situation. Oh, really? So I guess you didn't have no good situation when you were in Green Bay.
You didn't say that.
He had that same situation.
Okay.
Did he get into a Super Bowl?
Did he get to a Super Bowl?
Did Brett get this same talent that Aaron Rodgers had? Did he get it to a Super Bowl? When he had Greg Jennings, he had Donald Driver, he had James Jones. Did he get it? Ryan Grant, did he get it to a Super Bowl?
Well, he obviously got to 2 Super Bowls.
Wait. I mean,
Similar talent.
Yeah, oh, I would have thought that after winning 3 straight MVPs, he'd have more than 1 Super Bowl. Wouldn't you, Skip?
Well, you could say that about him, just the way he said it about him.
He tried to give Aaron a backhanded compliment, and in the article, the interviewer said you could tell it was bothering him, and he was it was gnawing at him a little bit for giving that compliment. And you was like, well, Aaron has done about everything he could. That ain't what you wanted to say. You tried to take a shot. Yeah, he did. Backhanded compliment. Because he also said, what did he say early on, Skip? It's not my job to get Aaron Rodgers ready to play quarterback.
Well, that's a fact.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we know how now, been reported that, they kind of patched up their differences and all that. But Skip, you can't. You surprised he hadn't won more than one? All this. I mean, what? I mean, you think that the Packers are the only one that have talent?
Wait a second. He said, as good as he is,
good.
I would have thought they would have won more than one by now. What's wrong with that? That's a front door compliment.
Hold on, Skip. Brett Favre won 3 straight MVPs. And in the time he won those 3 straight MVPs, how many Super Bowls did he win?
Okay, but he wasn't talking about himself. He's talking about Aaron Rodgers. He's delivering the highest compliment he could deliver.
Does he really?
I don't know that he could have done any more than he's done.
Let me ask you a question. If Aaron Rodgers had Reggie White and Leroy Butler on his defense, how many Super Bowls do you think he could have won?
I don't know. That's not what he's talking about.
I know what he's talking about. He tried to give a backhanded compliment. You saw how, look, normally when you heap praise on somebody, you don't have to pause. Let me tell you about Aaron. Man, Aaron Rodgers is the greatest thrower of the football I've ever seen. And I've been around some great quarterbacks, played with a few of them, went to the Pro Bowl.
Well, probably because he really gets it. He doesn't think that he's the greatest thrower of the football he's ever seen.
That's why it takes you so long. You gotta see, when you try to give somebody a compliment, you don't really have to think about it. But when you're trying to take a little back door and give them a compliment, you got to kind of parse your words. You got to say like, yeah, as good as he's been, you would have thought by now he'd have more. What do you mean? Like Aaron Rodgers, the only talented quarterback.
I mean, he's Brett Favre. And who had the stronger arm between Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers? It's
Who's
Brett
the better
Favre.
quarterback?
I don't know. Who had the more fourth quarter comebacks and late game heroics? Brett Favre by far.
Because you know why? Because he had thrown 3 interceptions in the first half, so he dug the hole that we're in. So he better find a way to get us up out of it.
So I've been wondering the same thing about the greatest thrower of the football ever. Well, I'm serious. You brought it up. I didn't. You started talking about it, so I got to finish it. But he had one magical roll to a Super Bowl, in which they won 4 straight games and 1 Super Bowl. He's 5-6 since then. That's not very good. That's not the greatest thrower of the football ever kind of stats. So at home, he said, we got to get the NFC Championship game at home. That's what he said the other day, Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Well, at home, he's 3-2 in the playoffs, and those 3 are all tainted. They all have asterisks beside
They ain't got no asterisk.
Even though Joe Webb looked pretty good occasionally last night, he didn't look that good in that game that he had to face Aaron Rodgers for the Vikings when he got thrown into that fire, right? And then we know it was a catch, right? It was a catch. Everybody knows it was a catch except you. You're only saying because you're a Cowboy hater and an Aaron Rodgers lover.
Right? Chris Carter said it wasn't a catch, and he cited on the committee that what should and shouldn't be a catch.
Yeah, once upon a time when we first asked him, this is back on the old show, he thought it was a catch. But then he thought about it.
If you go back and look at my tweets, I had just started tweeting about that. I said it wasn't a catch. Just like my good friend Skip, this is not 2020 hindsight. This is 15-15 first sight. I said it at the time.
Yeah, but
no catch.
But one of us is actually objective about the Dallas Cowboys, and
you're not objective about no Cowboys.
I am.
You've been looking Cowboys since 1960.
I have, but I'll come down on them when it's time to come down. That was a catch. He caught it and ran with it and tried to slam it on the goal line. You know it, and I know it.
Healy, our producer Chris Healy,
Look,
he and I, we about to part ways.
Watch it.
Because he keeps breaking it, so I asked him not to.
That's what he's trying to slam the ball on the goal line. He's in control of the football.
After further review, the receiver failed to maintain possession.
That's what happened.
He went to the ground. He lost possession. Therefore, the pass is incomplete. First down, Green Bay. How was that, Skip?
You know what? That was the moment in my sports watching career. That was the biggest moment that I just wanted to vomit. Because when that happened, I just fell on the ground. What? Because it was obviously a catch. Upon further review, what?
The receiver failed to maintain complete control.
He ran with it for a whole stride. He had the football in his hands.
If the receiver leaves his feet, he comes down. The receiver must maintain complete control of the football throughout the entirety of the catch.
So think about this.
Julian Edelman.
Okay, think about this. You always have to change the subject when you're losing that battle. You have to start another battle. But in this case, Aaron Rodgers, greatest thrower of the football ever, got Joe Webb. Then he should have lost to the catch and Des Bryant. And then he got the Yacht Club. Odell takes the receivers down to South Beach to train and get ready for a game at Lambeau Field. That's what he got. He got a team that was completely disrupted and distracted by its quote-unquote star wide receiver. So you got that. It fell right into your lap. And then you got 2 of the luckiest field goals I've ever seen to steal a game in Dallas by Mason Crossbar. And then you go to Atlanta and just get your doors blown off. Really? That's Aaron Rodgers?
They gave up 44
That's all you got? I'm with
44.
Brett Favre. It's as good as he is. It's kind of shocking that he hasn't won.
He doesn't play defense.
Huh.
He doesn't play D.
Well, just go win it on offense. That's what Dallas did last year. Dak just went and won it with the offense.
Hold on. But they didn't. They didn't win it on offense. Aaron Rodgers, the greatest thrower of the football, went in there and took it from him.
A 56-yard field goal and a 51-yard field goal? What? Really?
He did his job. Who got him in position? That's what you tell me about when Vinatieri kicked it. Who got him in position?
He made one lucky throw because my coordinator made one boneheaded decision of the whole year. He was the assistant coach of the year in pro football, Rod Marinelli. Then he calls a prevent on 3rd and 22 or whatever.
I want the viewers at home to tell me who am I. This guy got the ball. He was like, bing, 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 pat. Bing, 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 bing.
Dak.
Yeah.
Dak.
But he didn't do that. He didn't do that. That was Aaron Rodgers. He said, I don't want no bing. I want bow. You know, no Batman, you don't have zap. Boom. Slap.
Yeah.
That hurt, Skip. Which one hurt? I just need to know for my personal satisfaction. Which game were you more hurt by? The loss at Lambeau or the one this divisional at home at Jerry World? Which one hurt the most?
That's a good question.
Hey, Healy, give me. Oh, go ahead.
You know what? Actually, the first one really hurt because we had already won at Seattle that year and just cleaned their clocks, those vaunted Seahawks, up in a regular season game. Yeah. And we were going to get to go right back there to get to the Super Bowl.
We had already beaten the Green Bay Packers in their field. So which on their home turf. We outgunned Aaron Rodgers at home. So which one hurt the most?
We outgunned Aaron Rodgers.
That's what you said. That's what you were talking about.
Last year?
Yeah.
Dak went up there and just took him all apart.
Okay. Oh, so which one hurt the most?
Aaron Rodgers started off last year 4-6. How could that be?
I just need to know the game that hurt. Skip. Which game hurt the most? Which game hurt the most?
Probably the first one. It just because it was just
that
was just a robbery.
It's a
robbery. It's a robbery. Yeah. It's highway robbery.
Did you see Aaron Rodgers make that throw, Skip?
Which throw?
That one, Byron Jones, you're starting strong safety.
Yeah. I saw Mason Crossbar make a 56 and a 51. The hand of God.
Look at this. Skip.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Skip. I thought he was on Dancing with the Stars the way he pivoted. Was that the tango, Joy? Was that the tango or was that the mamba?
Byron Jones. Byron Jones, where are you? Look, he's wide open.
Oh, man. Jared Cook did it. Michael on the sideline with told the like.
I don't know what happened.
Smooth criminal.
Did you see the last field goal? He duck hooks it left. And have you ever seen a field goal start off left and then suddenly inside? We're indoors. Suddenly blow back to the right.
By that time, Skip, I had to pour me a red Solo cup full of something. A red Solo cup full of something, Skip, because I already know what was going to happen.
The first game you won the whole football season.
No, I beat you 3 times, Skip.
3
Both
times?
Giants and that one.
Both Giants.
I will get you some more this year.
Yeah.
Well, it's easy to remember if it's only 3.
Oh, yeah, 3 times. But I just need to be, hey, how many times, Skip, do I need to be right if I play Powerball and Mega Million?